system.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the next edition of the Losers Lounge podcast. That was without a doubt the worst intro I've ever done, but here's the real deal here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Christian freaking Maracle, fellow loser, awesome. And here joining me today, first off, please welcome Optimistic Hall of Famer, the Double R, Mr. Ryan.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Man, it is good to be back once again for NXT TakeOver Portland. And man, we're already in February. We're in the middle part of February. That is absolutely crazy. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are doing good. Yeah, let's rock and roll. Let's get ready to rock and roll. I hope you guys are too.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, middle of February, ladies and gentlemen. By the time of release of this video, currently our recording is Wednesday, February 12th, but at release it is Friday, February 14th. It is Valentine's Day. So, I have another guest with us. I'm just kidding, guest. Why would I say guest for this guy? This is without a doubt one of the most popular members of us. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing two-time Losers Lounge Member of the Year and Optimistic Hall of Famer, the Healist of Balors.
What a wonderful introduction, Christian Michael. Let's all give him a round of applause for that wonderful.
What would Ryan say? Ryan, what would you say?
Bravo!
Yeah.
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
So, did y'all like that intro? Willie, did you like the intro?
Bravo!
God.
Bravo!
What's up, guys? I gotta calm down here. It's the Healist of Balors. Sam Balor, Prince Balor, fellow loser. It is great to be back on the podcast. Cannot wait to talk about NXT TakeOver Portland. Very excited for this show. Really looking forward to the show. The card looks stacked, and let's get into it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, NXT TakeOver Portland is the first ever NXT TakeOver. I don't know if it's first time ever or whatnot, but it's on a Sunday. It's not on a Saturday. It's usually is a Saturday, and it's usually taking place before the day of a Big Four event, with the exception of an NXT TakeOver that takes place in the middle of the summer. However, this is a very interesting one because NXT TakeOver has its own weekend, if you want to call it that. There's no pay-per-view. Like it's not like it's not one of those bands that is, opening for a main scene here. Example, if you were attending a concert with the band called Megadeth and they're opening for something like Five Finger Death Punch. Now, this is like NXT TakeOver is its own show now, its own thing. And here's the thing, if they're trying to make, the NXT TakeOver events like on their own thing, if you think about it, that's a single branded pay-per-view. Now, what would you guys think if this means Raw and SmackDown may have their own pay-per-views again?
I'd be down for it.
Yeah, I would honestly like that. We do have the brand split, so, personally, I would not mind that. I kind of do miss it back it was like in 2016, 2017. Like, I really actually did enjoy those pay-per-views. I thought they were pretty good. It gave more opportunities for superstars to shine.
Yeah,
so
with the rosters they got right now, I don't think like double branded pay-per-views is exactly a good idea. And sure, I will admit, like single branded pay-per-views don't always sell tickets that well compared to Big Four events or dual branded events. But even so, they still did well, and a lot of times I remember when a pay-per-view was coming up, I would hear, it's like, what's the name? And they would tell me, example, Extreme Rules. And the next question we always ask was, Raw or SmackDown? And we're told it's a Raw event. Okay, what's the SmackDown show? They got Money in the Bank. Oh, all right. Sounds good. It seemed like It was fun times. But, ladies and gentlemen, NXT TakeOver Portland is, well, obviously in Portland, Oregon. So everybody over on the West Coast, have fun with that. It's February 16th, 2020. And February 16th is also the day of my brother's birthday. No, not Long Night Josh. My actual, blood-related brother. His name's Joe. Nobody has seen him on my channel in a long time. But it will be his birthday. He's going to be 25.
Dang.
Wow.
That's crazy because, this Sunday, February 16th, I turned 23. It's pretty crazy.
Getting old.
I legit almost forgot.
Oh, your birthday's on February 16th, too?
Yeah.
On the same day?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, the Double R Reister Ryan's birthday is on this Sunday, on the day of NXT TakeOver Portland. So let's take a moment right now and actually put a comment in the chat and wish Double R a happy birthday. There we go. And
I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna start forgetting a lot. So just have to be aware of that. So
not to worry.
These days.
Not to worry.
I mean, I'm 20 a lot easily.
Yeah, we'll definitely help you out. Happy birthday! Okay, why am I doing that? That was a weird-ass way of singing. Trying to come up with something new, but it's not working out, but it's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, NXT TakeOver Portland has 6 matches on the card, and the way I've been looking at it, all of them are worth the shit. Wait, what? No, worth the shit. Did I just say worth the shit?
Yeah, you
Something like that.
I'm trying to... Okay,
I mean, it's not like 7 months ago with Bailey and her shitting on children, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, I still remember that. Funniest moment ever. 6 matches on the card, 2 non-title matches, 4 title matches, and one of those non-title matches is a street fight. And we're actually going to kick things off with talking about said street fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Tegan Nox taking on Dakota Kai. Street fight rules. All right. And this all started at NXT.
I'm pumped.
Well, this started before NXT TakeOver War Games, at least Dakota Kai's situation, because the thing about her wanting to be part of Rhea Ripley's team in the War Games match, and basically Rhea Ripley says, no, Mia Yim is going to be the one to be the final person on my team. And of course, she was upset about that. And coincidentally, Mia Yim was attacked on War Games. At that point, it just made it completely obvious that Dakota Kai was behind it and was going to turn heel. So,
Yep.
Tegan Nox just happened to be, in the area when Kai attacked.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yep. So that's why I'm thinking that's where there's in the situation. I think Dakota Kai really wanted to go after Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that would have been a cooler thing. But hey, it showed how much Rhea Ripley is a kick-ass competitor because, she was outnumbered 4-2 with Shayna Baszler's team, and they still won the match. And she just had what? Candice LeRae on her side? Think so.
I think so. It was like Candice LeRae and it
was just Candice LeRae with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, it was
against Shayna Baszler's huge team, and we were like, Rhea Ripley, she's done for. I'm like, nope, she won, and even at Survivor Series, she won for NXT. But yeah, Dakota Kai is a completely change of personality, change in hairstyle. Thankfully, not as horrible as Bailey's look. But
Bailey out here looking like some soccer mom. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
So AJ Styles.
I ain't gonna lie.
At least AJ Styles.
I agree with you on that, Willie.
Can't believe I would ever say this, but AJ Styles can pull off a soccer mom more than Bailey ever could. Don't at me.
Facts.
And he's not even a girl, so.
It's 2020. We don't know what our genders are anymore, apparently.
Oh, God.
There's no gender, apparently.
Yeah, that is true.
Gosh.
That is true after all. All right, I'm going to start with you, Double R. What do you think about the Tegan Nox Dakota Kai match?
I am definitely looking forward to this match. I think this should be a very fun, entertaining match. I'm hoping it gets a good, solid chunk of time. Hoping like between at least 20 minutes to 30 minutes, hopefully. I don't know. I'm just going to go estimate a guess, but I think this could possibly, potentially be match of the night, has potential. But this should be a very fun one. I think I would probably have Let me see. I really like Tegan Nox, but I think I would probably have Dakota Kai win this one just to, get her, help her to solidify her as a strong heel. So I would probably have to give the win to Dakota Kai, and then possibly maybe later on they get a rematch somewhere down the line. But yeah, I would go for Dakota Kai to get the win here.
Probably I can understand that one in that case. However, like, I wouldn't really say like it should be like 20 to 30 minutes or whatnot, because I'm looking at the other matches that are on the card. I'm like, I think I think we have other matches.
It was a street fight, but like, I think I probably just
as long as they get some good weapons in the mix, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, at least some good spots. Let me just put it that way: some good spots. Use any type of weapons, as much weapons as they can. It'll make it a great match. Ding, ding, ding.
And Ryan, you were at as everybody knows, you were at the weekend of events for Royal Rumble in Houston this past January, and that included Worlds Collide, where Tegan Nox ambushed Dakota Kai when she was at ringside.
Yes. So I actually was not too far away from that. So obviously I was on the TV side. I want to say I was row 4 for Worlds Collide. I know some of you guys saw me, so I appreciate all the people that tagged me on Twitter saying they saw me at Worlds Collide. I appreciate that.
And that was difficult to see Ryan at Worlds Collide, considering the fact for a majority of the time the crowd was in the dark.
Yeah, that's kind of the bad thing about it. But still, though, it was crazy. So I saw Tegan Nox run like from the crowd, and then boom, just ambushed Dakota Kai as she was being interviewed, or not interviewed, but shown. When she was being shown.
Yeah, she's being acknowledged.
And it was crazy. Like, I've never really seen that live in person, like someone ambushing someone like in the crowd. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. So definitely that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to it, because it's definitely very personal. Like, when it gets personal, a match should be very good.
That is true.
Yeah.
Let's see. This all continued on as well when on January 15th when Dakota Kai eliminated Tegan Nox from a women's battle royal as well. Remember that? So that's where also things took place. And then they faced off on NXT on January 29th, I believe. But Tegan Nox got the win. But now we have a rematch, which is a street fight. The reason for the street fight, I'm guessing, is because Tegan Nox used a knee brace. So, Heel Balor, your thoughts on the Dakota Kai Tegan Nox match?
I'm looking forward to it. As Ryan said, they better get time. Actually, they're good time. I do think it's going to be a good match. Storyline's been pretty good. It's just so personal, and I like it. I like storylines that are like this. We get the bad blood. Like, it kind of reminds me of Ciampa and Gargano, except Ciampa and Gargano, oh boy. They took it to the limit. But this rivalry, it has something that the main roster doesn't have, and that's actual storytelling and actual grudge matches and actual rivalries that actually make sense. But yeah, who do I think is going to win? That's the tough thing. I'm very torn on this match. I'm gonna go with who won the last match? Was it Tegan?
Yeah, Tegan Nox got the win after hitting Dakota Kai with the knee brace.
I'm gonna go Dakota Kai to get the win. Cheating. She's going to use the knee brace. Obviously, it's street fight. But I could see Tegan picking up the win. But for now, I'm going to go with Dakota Kai. I think it just makes sense here for Dakota going over and establish her as one of those main eventers. I wouldn't say main eventers because I do think she will be a main eventer one day. But establish her as a big, dominant threat out there. Maybe challenge Rhea Ripley. She retains her title. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, I see both of these two as potential possible NXT Women's Champions in the near future.
Oh yeah,
I think they got it.
I'm actually glad I'm actually glad that we got a nice, how would you say, fresh batch of women's wrestlers on the NXT roster.
Yeah,
because another company doesn't have.
Because when we have people like Shayna Baszler moving on to like the main roster, as we saw recently against Becky Lynch, we need more people to take their places and such.
Yeah. Anyway. And that's one thing I will give a lot of credit to NXT for. Especially, they've done a really great job with the women's division. Even NXT UK has a lot of very talented women's superstars. Yeah. it's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, a lot
and
of
yes,
us.
like you said, Willie, like, you know, NXT's women's division blows the water out of AEW's women's division, and it's not even close.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
Yeah, and we ain't trying to throw shade at AEW here. We're just saying, based on what we've seen, if we compare both those rosters together here. As well, we'll talk AEW in a couple of weeks when we're going to talk about AEW Revolution, and that's where we have a lot to talk about for their divisions. So you'll hear us more on that. But in the meantime, what I will also say is another good reason why I'm excited for NXT's women's division this year is because of the massive presence of NXT wrestlers in the Women's Royal Rumble match this past month.
Oh, yeah.
They literally started with an NXT wrestler, Bianca Belair, and the match ended with a Shayna Baszler. So the NXT was present throughout the whole match.
Yeah. I gotta say, from that match, I say the MVP of that Women's Royal Rumble match was Bianca Belair, because I think she eliminated, what was it, 8 or 9?
Yeah, so did Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, Shayna Baszler. And with that little time, since Shayna Baszler entered at number 30,
she
absolutely dominated. And I think
eliminated
Shayna Baszler was my...
Yeah, sorry about
that.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
She eliminated 8 competitors in 2 minutes.
Yeah. And that's the whole crazy thing, because I predicted Shayna Baszler to win. And, she was just on, but I really... Because I said in my predictions, I think NXT Women's Superstar should win the Royal Rumble match. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But, you know, I got to give a lot of praise to Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler. They're definitely going to be some future stars, definitely future champions on the main roster. Hopefully, if they are treated right. But,
I got something that I guarantee is going to... I got something that I guarantee is going to probably piss y'all off. You ready for this? Despite the fact of NXT's presence in the Royal Rumble match, a lot of people are saying that NXT still did not have a good showing in the Women's Rumble.
I mean, if you ask me, at the Royal Rumble, you saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask me, that Women's Royal Rumble match, like for the NXT Women's Superstars, they did a lot better than I think they did last year.
We got Bianca Belair, Mercedes Martinez, people like Mia Yim, Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Chelsea Green, who's accompanied by that guy who looks a lot like Robbie E.
Your name is so funny.
Oh shit, that actually is Robbie E?
Yeah, it is Robbie E.
Oh my god, I forgot. Oh my god.
Robert. Yeah, that's Robbie E.
Yeah, they call him Robert Roode. Oh wait, I'm sorry, never mind. That's not right.
Robert Stone, I think.
Robert Stone. Well, they were probably stoned when they came up with that name.
Dang.
By the way,
what kind of a name is
another person that you know was in the Women's Royal Rumble match? I know we're off topic from NXT TakeOver Portland, but we're talking NXT here, so.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. Another name that actually impressed me is of a wrestler I didn't even know about, and that was Shotzi Blackheart.
You didn't know who she was?
I didn't.
Yeah, it's funny, in my reactions, I was kind of trying to figure out who the heck that was. Then I remembered, I saw her compete on NXT, on an episode of NXT. I was like, oh, yeah. Blackheart, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Here's the thing.
I remember now.
It just takes a while for me to register who people are. You know what I mean? But I will say that she did show quite a lot of potential in that Rumble match. So I think the Royal Rumble match is a really good way to show off what you can do. So that's why I'm thinking NXT Women's Division has hopefully a good future ahead of them with all these amazing competitors. If people like Shayna Baszler is moving on to the main roster. And that was a good time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to talk about my quick thoughts on Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox, which is the fact that there was I was at War Games when Dakota Kai attacked Tegan Nox. I was there. I was amazed at the whole thing because, being in the arena and everything. But at the same time, I kind of saw it happening because of the whole situation with Mia Yim. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell who Dakota Kai is really after here. Tegan Nox because she attacked her in the War Games. Mia Yim because she ambushed her and took her place. Or Rhea Ripley because, you wouldn't let me on your team. So it's kind of hard to tell who Dakota Kai's real adversary is.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing this one step at a time, so that eventually she might build herself up to go after Rhea Ripley, the NXT Women's Championship. Well, we'll see how that works out. It's time. I'm also going to say maybe Dakota Kai will win this match, and I'm thinking I don't see her as a contender to Rhea Ripley's title at NXT Tampa Bay. If Rhea Ripley is possibly contending with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, but we'll talk about that later. So I could see Dakota Kai maybe taking on someone like Mia Yim at Tampa Bay. Because,
I can see it.
Going after the people who she had attacked or had problems with, makes sense that she'd probably have fights with them. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next match. And this is another non-title match, and one that I'm pretty sure Willie here is excited to see. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Johnny Gargano taking on Finn Balor. A match that was supposedly going to happen in NXT TakeOver at War Games, but due to Johnny's injury, it got postponed to here in Tampa Bay. I mean, it's not Tampa Bay, Portland, sorry.
Close enough. Portland, Tampa Bay, close enough.
Yeah, they're far away from each other, literally on the height and both vertically and horizontally. They're far away from each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. We'll have heel Balor go last on this one.
Good.
But I'll start with you, Ryan. What are your thoughts on this match?
I'm definitely looking forward to this. This is going to be one crazy match. I hope this match of the night. I really hope so. I think it will. But this rivalry is very personal. I really love the what do you call it? The little segment they had, the little interview they had, and they're talking trash to each other, and like Finn Balor took shots at Johnny Gargano, and Johnny Gargano took shots at Finn Balor. He basically took shots at. I liked how he took shots at Finn Balor's run at the main roster. I thought that was pretty funny. But the thing that I like about Finn Balor now is like NXT knows how to use Finn Balor. NXT knows how to use Finn Balor, which, I'm not going to say that Finn Balor's main roster run was terrible. It wasn't bad, but I just feel like they didn't really know how to use him. Whereas NXT, they know how to use, the talent. So I give NXT a lot of props. That's one thing that's great about NXT. So obviously, I love Finn Balor in NXT. He's just absolutely incredible. I got to see him at Worlds Collide in a very talented match, in my opinion. So I think definitely, without a doubt, his matchup at NXT TakeOver Portland is going to be very good. And I will say this. I'm not the biggest fan of Johnny Gargano. I do like him. But I hope that Finn Balor rips Johnny Gargano's heart out and gets the win.
Heart? I was hoping he would go for the head.
Both.
Close enough.
Go for whatever. Head, legs, ribs.
Rip off his penis for all we care.
Hey, whoa, now.
Who are you, the Usos? Anyway, if there's any penis people should rip off, it's Joey Ryan's.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, I think Finn Balor should be, one of the top heels in NXT, which I think he actually is. But yeah, I think so. I think it probably makes the most sense for Finn Balor to get the win. I mean, Johnny Gargano, I don't really think he necessarily needs this win. Although, some people will probably disagree, saying that he'll win, which is fine. I respect all opinions. But I got to give the win to Willie's boy, Prince. Let's call him Prince. Prince Balor.
That's me.
I still call him Finny McFinfin because it's funny.
Yep, Finny boy. Yeah, I'm going with Finn Balor.
All right,
Finn Balor.
All right,
Johnny Gargano doesn't stand a chance.
As most people know, I think I said this almost every time we talk NXT.
I hear this a lot on Twitter too. Because I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, people. This is a literal quote I say.
And it's funny too.
This is a literal quote I say all the time, which is, I know people know this by now, But I'm not the biggest fan of Johnny Gargano, and I have intense dislike for him, mainly because his character's annoying and such, but I've already said all that shit, so I don't know if I'll say much on that case, but I will. Here's the thing. What people don't understand, of course, people never understand, no matter how many times I say how much I don't like Johnny Gargano, and they still don't get it even when I do explain, but you know what, that's their problem. Well, I'm not going to go on and make another little rant about how the fact that Johnny Gargano was an annoying little cockroach who just won't go away and leave everybody alone, anybody who's actually relevant. But what I will say is Johnny Gargano, I never take anything away from the fact that he puts on good matches. And people's, of course, response was, if you put on good matches, it doesn't matter if you lose all the time. I'm like, yes, it does.
He has a point.
Here's the thing.
I mean, take a look at Gargano's TakeOver record.
Lose, loss, win. Loss, win. Loss, win. Loss. Did not appear at that one. And now. Probably another loss. But we'll talk on that a little bit. I will say, Johnny Gargano does put on good matches. I never take away the fact that he's a good wrestler. I never take that away from him. But you're only as good as your record shows. Okay? You could be one of the best wrestlers in the whole fucking world, but if you don't give yourself a win or actually show how much of a great champion you can be, a la Sasha Banks, then you're just not good enough, in my opinion. And that's just how I stand for it. Johnny Gargano, I call him a cockroach mainly because he gets crushed all the time, tossed in the toilet or whatnot, flushed down. You can name anything involving being crushed, destroyed, mashed, whatever the fuck. But he gets back up, even though it's just pointless for him to keep coming back when he's just going to lose again. A big example has to be like any time he was going for the NXT title. He's had thousands of NXT title matches and won only one time. Defended the title and lost it. And ever since then, even before that, he just hasn't been getting the victory. He puts on great matches. In some ways, I would almost say some of his matches are worth 5 stars. I'm not going to be like Dave Meltzer and say, hey, they were 7 or 8 stars or some shit like that if this was New Japan. No, I'm not doing that, but I'm going to say Johnny Gargano's a great wrestler. But the problem is he loses all the damn time. That's what it keeps being annoying. I mean, sure, it's been in some ways, yes, it's inspiring for him to get back on his feet. But the thing is, if he keeps getting back on his feet, he keeps getting pushed down, and he almost never achieves what people would expect in a big Superman storytelling or Avengers level threat shit or something like that. Doesn't get what everybody's expecting. He doesn't save the world. He doesn't. He's an inspiration about never giving up, yes, but the thing is, he's not someone who's worth the top title. He's never, in my opinion, he just never is that type of guy who's worth being on top of the world, because every time he tries to get top of the world, he gets knocked down, and even when he does get to the top of the world, he's easily pushed back down. So that's why I'm thinking Johnny Gargano in the situation he is with Finn Balor right now is the best place for him. He puts on great matches, and there's nothing at risk, nothing at stake, and he could just have fun and wrestle his freaking heart out. He's the first ever NXT Triple Crown champion, having won all the titles, yes. But like I said before, you're only as good as your title reigns. His tag team title with Tommaso Ciampa was horrible. His NXT North American title reign was only 4 days long, and his NXT title reign, it did last almost 2 months, but he never defended it within those 2 months. First defense, he lost it. So that's why I'm saying Johnny Gargano, that's why I call him an annoying cockroach. His character is cliched. And I literally said I wasn't going to do a little rant, but I just ended up doing another one. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Wow. Oh, man, I love doing this podcast. It's some of the best stuff we've ever done. But back to the match of Finn Balor.
That's funny.
Back to the match of Finn Balor. I like Finn's persona where he's, Prince Balor and such. It's a combination of his name of Prince Devitt and Finn Balor. He combined both the names together, which I'm surprised is not officially, his name now. Surprised, but nevertheless, he's got this good match with Johnny Gargano that I think will exceed expectations. It's going to be a wonderful match. It's going to be fun to watch. Here's the hope, and Johnny Gargano doesn't mess up again when it looks like he's on the winning side, but then he makes one simple mistake, and it costs him everything, like in 99% of his other big-time matches. Good times. But I'm going to say I predict Finn Balor to win this match, because this is Finn's match to win because of what Johnny has been talking smack over. Johnny Gargano's the guy who, here's like Finn Balor, he used to be like the top guy of NXT. Remember that, Willie?
Yes, I do.
He used to be the top guy of NXT, and then he left. Johnny Gargano, in my opinion, is not the one to say I'm the new top guy or whatnot, because he's done nothing to prove that.
And he's been there for what, like 3, almost 4 years now?
Yep.
4 years, at least.
3, almost 4 years, and I still would rather prefer to see somebody else on my TV screen. Because this is just same old shit. And people talk smack about John Cena or Roman Reigns about same old shit. Or Charlotte Flair about same old shit.
Speaking of John Cena, he's coming back.
Yeah, February 28th on SmackDown, Cena's going to be showing up.
And you know what's funny? Sorry to kind of throw this off topic, but I find it very funny how people say, like, oh, well, we don't need John Cena. It's time for the new stars to shine and everything. Well, that may be true. Yeah, here's the thing. People have been playing, like, about the product. Like, the product's boring. Every time they do get opportunities for new stars, like, they're so boring. Like, WWE sucks. Monday Night Raw sucks. SmackDown sucks. And then, like, what happens? Okay, John Cena comes back. Friday Night SmackDown, February, 28th? Yeah. And everybody gets all excited. Like, you love John Cena. Whether or not people say that they hate John Cena or whatever, whenever he comes back, like, people watch. Yep. I kind of find that funny, but,
Yeah, it's understandable.
That's the problem with these fans. They're all fickle. They're all freaking just sheep, as Bailey calls them, sheep. They'll latch on to anything that they want. And when they don't get anything that they want, they'll piss and moan all over. Now, I know you're thinking down in the comments. Oh, what about the losers' lines? They do that all the time. Here's the thing. As Christian usually says, we get over it. We bitch, we moan, we piss, and then we get over it.
But here's the thing. We don't attack WWE for this. We're talking with each other. The only ones we're really talking to is us. And sometimes it feels good to just let it out with friends. Rather than letting it out as a keyboard warrior.
Just let it out.
Warrior. Stay woke, morons.
So that's why. So back to this. This is why I believe Finn Balor is the one to win the match against Johnny Gargano, because it's Finn who really needs the momentum compared to Johnny, who's had his momentum.
Yep.
Besides, Johnny Gargano, as we've seen, since he's an annoying little cockroach who just can't get put down, he can lose all the matches and still not get buried. So to people who think that losing matches means you get buried, it's a lie.
A big lie. I'll talk about that in a sec.
Johnny Gargano, huh? He's lost almost every time, and he hasn't been buried. So, there you go.
No one gives Gargano credit. He's done everything.
Sure, he's done everything, but what's he done to hang on to it?
One NXT Tag Team Champion, NXT North American Champion, NXT Champion. Like, what else?
What else is there to him to accomplish? He's done literally everything.
He's done literally everything.
He's won. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done everything.
Congrats. Here's the thing. Congrats. He's the first ever NXT Triple Crown champion. As we know, Adam Cole is the second.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he also was briefly a tag team champ with Undisputed Era when Bobby Fish was injured. And this was before Roderick Strong came in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he also is the first ever North American champion, and he's the current NXT champion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's why I'm predicting Finn Balor to win. Heel Balor, your turn on the Finn Balor-Johnny Gargano match.
Sit down, grab your popcorn, and just shut up. Because it's time for the
That's weird. Normally he says just enjoy the ride, but this time he just told you to shut up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. New heel Balor these days. But, new attitude. new charisma, new swag with myself nowadays. But I digress. Johnny Gargano. First of all, let me say this: fantastic wrestler out there. One of the greatest out there, in my opinion. Probably one of the greatest in NXT. Put on 5-star matches. He's put on he's amazing. I'm a Gargano fan. Finn Balor, obviously the Prince. Finny McFinn, heel Balor. Not me, him. Heel Balor. Just turned heel a few months ago. And, he's been doing fantastic. Let me tell you, Finn's booking in NXT has been so great. So great. They've done everything right. Everything freaking right. And Triple H, I know you're watching. I know someone everybody's watching this podcast, because whenever we do something, it actually happens on TV. So whoever's watching this, we thank you. We know you're listening. Now, Finn Balor, he's been a fantastic heel. He's been doing great on NXT. And now, Christian, you say John Gargano has a cockroach, correct?
Yeah.
Well, Finn Balor is going to bring the bug spray. And he's going to exterminate that cockroach.
That's nice.
And if he won't bring the bug spray, he'll be bringing his boots. And he'll be stomping that cockroach into the dust in the form of the coup de grace. Now, I am legitimately torn on this match. No joke. I am legitimately torn on this match. I love both guys. I'm a huge fan of both guys, obviously. Going into this, the promo packages the promos back and forth have been very great. Really have been enjoying them. Especially when Finn said this past week, "I have no heart." That is the most darkest thing I've heard him say. Well, in WWE wise, because his big fish run fucking sucked me. He's been doing so great as a heel. And he said that he has no heart. Johnny Gargano says that when Finn left NXT, that he picked up the flag that Finn was carrying. Gargano, Finn's been carrying that flag for a long, long, long time, and Finn didn't drop the flag. No. Finn didn't drop the flag. Finn just put the flag down and waited. Finn waited. He's still the flag bearer. He still carries that brand, even though he still carried that brand, even though he wasn't there. It was his kingdom. It was his moment. It was his NXT. That 2016, 2015, NXT belonged to Finn Balor. You cannot deny that.
That is true.
Period. You cannot deny that.
That is very true.
That's right.
I'm not going to take anything away from Gargano. No, I cannot take anything away from Gargano. He's one of my favorites, as I just said. But there comes a time when you have to take the old dog out and put it down. And that's what Finn Balor's going to do. He's going to take the gun. He's going to take the gun. He's going to take little Gargano out back. And just like old Yeller, bang, bang, goodbye, Gargano.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you remember the story of Old Yeller, they didn't put the dog down because he was old. It was because he got rabies.
Yeah.
Gargano doesn't have rabies. I guess Gargano has a sickness. It's called cockroach syndrome. Oh.
Cockroach syndrome. That is, wow, this is a little
cockroach
weird.
syndrome.
That's funny as hell.
Oh my god!
I'm legitimately so torn on this match. I don't know who I want to win. I could see Balor winning and him literally retiring Gargano out of NXT, or I could see Gargano winning and they continue this rivalry, which will come into play in the main event, which I'll talk about. Which we'll talk about later. I gotta go with. Surprisingly, I'm gonna go Gargano. Gargano.
All right.
I don't see Balor winning this. I think they're going to continue this. I think Balor loses here, and I think this can be Gargano's rise. Now, I could be wrong. I will not be upset either way. I will not be upset either way with this match because I'm going to love it. I'm going to freaking enjoy it, and I'm going to be like on my feet the entire time. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be 5 stars. 5 stars. It's going to be 5 stars because Gargano's in there.
I agree with that.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be 5 stars because Gargano. Obviously, Balor, he can bring everyone to a good match, but he's not Gargano. That's the thing. That's the thing that Balor and Gargano has that Balor somewhat doesn't have, and that's good wrestling skills. Balor has good wrestling skills, but he's no Gargano. He is no Johnny Gargano. I'm sorry. I bet y'all are really shocked as you're listening to this. Balor's picking Johnny Gargano? Yes, I am. I'm picking that. And I don't care who wins this match. I'm going to go with Gargano, and I think they're going to continue this rivalry. Gargano needs his redemption. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with Johnny Gargano to beat Finn Balor.
If he needs his redemption, why is he going after Finn Balor then?
Well, Finn put him out a few months ago.
Oh, a lot of people put Johnny Gargano.
Who spiked your head into the campus and legitimately hurt him? That was so dark.
Fun times. All right, so you're picking Johnny Gargano. That was a pretty cool thing, man. All right.
So I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like I want to change it up a bit. I see this rivalry continuing, and I want it to continue. I really do. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm choosing Gargano.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, who's ready to talk about the title matches we got set up?
Let's do it.
All right, kicking things off with the NXT Tag Team Championships. This is a very interesting one. The challengers are the winners of the Dusty Rhodes Classic, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, the Broserweights, as they will take on the reigning Tag Team Champions, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, known as Fish and Chips.
Oh, one more thing, Chris, before we continue.
Yep.
About the Gargano Balor match. I bet people are thinking, oh, is this going to hurt Balor if he loses? No, it's not. Balor will be fine. He's going to be fine if he loses. And as I said, before we continue into this, not to go way off topic, but Christian, you brought up the word buried, right?
Yep.
Now that word's thrown around a lot. I've been seeing in the community. First of all, none of you people know what the word buried means. Just saying. That's not my loser. I'm talking to everyone else who doesn't really have a functioning brain out there.
Bingo.
You guys are throwing the word a whole lot, and it's really laughable. Like, you're throwing around the word like it's candy and popcorn. Like, it's just very laughable. People are really just going out of their way to say,
it feels so good.
Let's do that. Oh, my God. No, it doesn't feel good.
Sorry, Willie.
You get it, man? I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think of the word buried? And not to go way off topic, but I want to hear your opinions on this said word and where it can be used in context when it comes to professional wrestling.
EC3.
Yep.
Eric Young.
Yep.
Names like those ones who are either just... I was going to say No Way Jose, but he was never anywhere near anything, even in NXT.
Cedric Alexander. Buried.
I wouldn't really say that. It comes to,
Really? You wouldn't say that?
If we're thinking buried, we're thinking to the point where literally nobody gives a shit about them anymore. Or forgot that they were employed. Examples of that is EC3.
Lars Sullivan.
And Eric, we're not going to talk about Lars Sullivan. For one thing, Lars Sullivan left due to injury, not because of that. But you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But example of people being buried does not mean that. If you want to be buried, we're talking you're forever in obscurity. So people can go ahead and say Bray Wyatt has been buried in the past, but look at him now. People could say Drew McIntyre. People could say Drew McIntyre was buried. Look where he is now. If you're buried, that means you will never come back as better than you were before. If you're buried, you won't come back better than you were before. That's how things work. If you were buried, you're falling into obscurity, and that's how you will forever remain. Shelton Benjamin is another example.
Yep.
He came back, but never got anywhere near as good as he was the last time.
There was so much behind his return also. Where did that go? Nowhere.
Bingo.
Like now they're sort of burying Matt Hardy. And that's
Well, here's the thing. I want to quickly mention that. Yeah, you have a good point on Matt Hardy, but what I will say is Matt Hardy, in my opinion, he just never clicked with me as a big-time singles competitor. And based off of the massive rosters they have right now of a lot bigger stars, there is literally no place for Matt Hardy, which is why I'm thinking he is going to leave the company. But it's because there's literally no place for him. And without Jeff in the mix, they can't do much with him at all.
Nope.
And
he's just gonna flop on the roster.
And when he if he does end up leaving the company, as much as his broken or /woken gimmick was great, in my opinion, it has run its course unless he spices it up. You gotta spice things up, or maybe come up with a new character or something, because you can't do the same old shit. Because we're not gonna enjoy the same old shit.
But it doesn't matter what you guys. What if everyone else still likes it? Whatever.
Well, if they do, then they do. Oh well.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's kind of a thing, and we'll go on to the next match after this. I'll say this real fast. A gimmick can get you over, but it can either go two ways. It can get you over for a long time, or it can get you over for just a short amount of time, then people get tired of it. That's kind of the whole thing. And I give a lot of credit to Matt Hardy because, version 1, broken, version, whatever you want to say, the gimmicks. I give him a lot of credit. I do give Matt Hardy a lot of credit. But, sometimes gimmicks, they get a little bit old. And, and people, I do enjoy it. But at a certain time, sometimes you just have to change things up. You just have to. Because it can either get, too stale. And, that's just kind of a problem. But, that's just kind of...
Gesundheit.
But that's just kind of the thing. That's just kind of thing sometimes. Sometimes you just have to kind of change things up.
Yeah. That's how it works at times, yeah.
You just have to freshen things up, yeah, sadly.
So whatever Matt Hardy does, I really hope that if he gets creative freedom from wherever he goes next, whether it's Ring of Honor, Impact, AEW, or wherever the hell, or maybe just continue doing a YouTube show or whatnot, if he has creative freedom over what he does, I'm positive he has a way of spicing things up. Because even Chris Jericho has a way of spicing things up. But we're not going to talk all about Chris Jericho's many gimmicks because that'll take forever. And we're not talking about Jericho. Let's go on to the next match like we were supposed to talk about. Fish and Chips versus the Broserweights for the NXT Tag Team titles.
With a side of Roderick sauce.
Yeah, it's pretty strong, I heard. And Adam Coleslaw is there too.
Yeah.
All right. As I said before, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne won the Dusty Rhodes Classic. And you guys ever think that the winners of the Dusty Rhodes Classics most of the time are not legitimate tag teams?
Yeah.
You guys ever realize that? Let's take a look at the past. The only ones that actually were legitimate tag teams was either the Undisputed Era or the Authors of Pain. But then the other three winners, the Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, that's not the legitimate tag team. Aleister Black and Ricochet, also not really a good tag team, even when they went to the main roster as a tag team. Never worked out. Yeah. And now even the Broserweights, not a legitimate tag team.
Nope.
It seems like, and people complain about the main roster, like using non-tag teams as the big-time winners or stuff.
Correct.
Like, of course, our Raw Tag Team Champions is randomly Seth Rollins and Murphy. Not the Authors of Pain, coincidentally, even though they're on the same damn stable.
Yeah. Honestly, like Rollins and Murphy, I like Buddy Murphy, or just Murphy, whatever they want to call him. But to me, Murphy and Rollins, it just doesn't seem like a realistic tag team to me.
No.
I don't know why.
Nah, it's not realistic. I'm enjoying it somewhat. Seth Rollins.
Yeah. But it just doesn't seem like a realistic tag team to me.
They had a realistic tag team in Akam and Razor. They have a tag team in Akam and Razor on their side. Why not have Murphy go for the U.S. title or something while Seth tries to go for the WWE title? Right. They can do one of those things where the stables are trying to get the gold, and most of the time they fail because they're not Undisputed Era. But you get what I mean.
I remember back in 2004. I think it was. They had the most randomest tag teams ever, and they won tag team gold during I think it was the Ruthless Aggression era. I remember that year, 2004. They had the most randomest tag teams ever.
That is very true, yeah.
Right.
The Broserweights, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, I don't really see them as some people who are teaming up later after this. So I'm thinking we're just doing this so the tag team titles can have a match at TakeOver. Because I don't see Undisputed Era losing the tag titles just yet. And if they do, it should really be to another legitimate tag team. Unfortunately, I'm looking at the roster, there's not a lot of that right now.
Nah.
Yeah. So, Heel Balor, your thoughts on Fish and Chips versus the Broserweights?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good match. The storyline's been decent, I guess, if there is a storyline.
There is no storyline. They just, won the Dusty Rhodes Classic, which means, we get a tag team title shot. So, that's basically it.
Yep. And I've been enjoying it for what they've been doing. You can see the cracks forming in the Undisputed Era. I think it's time for them to lose the titles. I think they've done it all. The prophecy's already been fulfilled. I mean, Roderick Strong just lost his North American title. But with this match, I'm going to go with Red Dragon. I'm sorry, Fish and Chips, or whatever you want to call them. We're going to call them Fish and Chips on here. That's the name we're going to call them on here from now on.
Because, if they were elsewhere, like Ring of Honor or Japan, then yes, it's Red Dragon. For over here in WWE, it's Fish and Chips.
Yep.
And plus, it's funny.
I'm going to go Fish and Chips.
Yep. I'd prefer... my opinion, like, that's also my pick. I'm going to say... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
My opinion, like, this is going to sound crazy, but I have another a weird-ass nickname for the Broserweights as well.
What's that?
I really think the Fish and Chips will defeat Matty Pete Raps.
There's the door. God, you just have to think of
Matty Pete Raps. I honestly don't know who the hell Matty B Raps actually is. All I know is he's a rapper. Because it's literally Matty B Raps.
Very annoying rapper who can't rap. Period. Moving on.
I thought his name was Matty McRiddle.
Matty McRiddle. I was gonna call him
Matty McRiddle.
I was gonna make references to Voldemort since his last name is Riddle, and Tom Riddle is Voldemort. But
yeah, that's what I see. I could see Undisputed losing, but I don't think it's time yet. I think they'll lose at the next TakeOver. I guess maybe. Well, tag titles in general. I think they'll lose the tag titles at the next show. I just don't see it happening here. I see Pete Dunne turning on Matty B. Matt Riddle, not Matty B. And they'll go
Matty Pete Raps.
Yeah, Matty P. Raps. Yeah, I see a heel turn. It's going to be a heel turn. Some shenanigans is going to happen. But I do see Fish and Chips retaining the tag titles.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, your thoughts on this?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how other people feel about this, but I really do like the Broserweights as a tag team. And honestly, I really had this feeling that the Broserweights might actually win the tag titles, but I don't think I see that happening. For some reason, I could see that happening, but I'm going to say no. Like you said, Christian, I don't think the Undisputed Era need to drop the belts just yet. Maybe at TakeOver Tampa Bay, possibly. But, like I said, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, I just don't, I can't really see them as as tag team champions. I don't know. I don't know. I just can't really see it. So I think the Undisputed Era need to probably retain their belts, and I would say probably have them drop them at TakeOver Tampa Bay, probably. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Pete Dunne turns on Matt Riddle. I probably say if they do lose, I have Undisputed Era retain their belts. So if they lose, I see probably Pete Dunne turning on Matty McRiddle, and then that probably sets up a feud, and then they have a match at TakeOver Tampa Bay. Right. That's kind of the way I'm going to see it. So I got to have Undisputed Era retain. I don't see them dropping it.
That was pretty cool.
So hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next match. This is for the NXT North American Championship, as we briefly mentioned. It's the champion Keith Lee defending against Dominik Dijakovic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to be a good one. As
we all know, they teamed up in War Games, and it was pretty cool. However, this is truthfully during a match I didn't think I'd be seeing anytime soon, because it seemed like these guys had a lot of great respect for one another and such. But it's cool to see this type of match where it could go either way, even though I know Keith Lee is freshly a champion, but that doesn't mean he's gonna just flat out retain, because anything can happen.
Yep.
So, however, I'm going to just quickly say, there's not much I can say about the North American title match, but I honestly am going to go on the side of Dominik Dijakovic because I am extremely impressed with this guy. And I think he has potential to be a great North American champion, even though, yes, once again, I know Keith Lee's freshly the champion. I'm not taking anything away from Keith Lee. The dude manhandled Brock Lesnar for a little bit. But
that was pretty awesome.
Not to mention, his biggest moment was Survivor Series.
Yeah.
That was freaking awesome.
So, really, I'm hoping that Keith Lee has if he does happen to go to the main roster, I hope it's a very good run. That's all I can hope.
Yep. So, that's why my prediction is Dominik Dijakovic. Rester Ryan, your thoughts on this match?
Okay. I'm definitely looking forward to this matchup. Dominik Dijakovic, I think he will be NXT North American champion one day. I don't see it happening Sunday, though. But he does have a very bright future in NXT, and I think he will win the NXT North American Championship at some point in NXT. But Keith Lee just kind of won this, however you want to say it. But so I think Keith Lee, they need to have him. I think he should have at least a lengthy run with the North American title. And so I'm going to go with Keith Lee. But, however, though, I don't see Keith Lee just, stomping over Dominik in this match. I think Dominik I think he should, at least majority of this match, get the upper hand. But Keith Lee is going to get the win here. And Keith Lee retains the NXT North American title, and I think which will be a very fun and entertaining matchup.
All right. Heel Balor, your thoughts of this match?
All I gotta say is bask in his glory, man. I'm a huge Keith Lee fan. These guys are
bask in his glory.
Oh yeah, we have a discount Keith Lee among us, but I'm not gonna go into that. I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking about something else.
Oh my god,
that was weird as hell, but that was funny.
These guys have pretty good matches. The athleticism between both gentlemen is just amazing. I gotta go with Keith Lee. It's not time to take the title off him. Not yet. He just won it, as Ryan said. And I think we're on the same boat that Dijakovic needs a little bit more tuning before he gets the title. At least in my opinion. I can't speak for these two, but for me, I think he needs a little bit more time. Maybe at the next TakeOver, he'll get the title. But for now, I don't think it's time. It's not his time yet. So I like Dijakovic. I don't think it's his time to win the title. Keith Lee.
All right. With that being said, we're going to move on to, we have 2 more matches left to talk. Let's talk about the NXT Women's Championship. First of all, thank heavens they dropped the stupid idea of calling it just the NXT title.
That's right. Yeah. The NXT Women's Championships.
As Rhea Ripley will defend against Bianca Belair. This actually should be really good. Bianca Belair, as we all know, had a hell of a performance in the Royal Rumble match last month.
Yeah. MVP of that match, in my opinion.
And then MVP showed up later.
Yeah. That is true. I was about to say that, but
yep. Oh, yeah. Brock Lesnar danced to that. That was absolute gold.
Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. This should definitely be a match I'm looking forward to, especially since remember the last time Bianca had title matches with Shayna Baszler, and she performed really well and even had Shayna on edge many, many times.
Yeah, I was actually at that TakeOver. It was TakeOver Phoenix.
Yep.
Where she competed for it. And she did really good, not gonna lie.
Remember when she hit Shayna with her ponytail and there was the lash on her back?
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore.
Oh, Christian, I remember, sorry to throw this off, but I remember your Sense video for TakeOver Phoenix. I remember a lot of times where she would go like, undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or you're just like, shut the F up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I just remember that. A lot of people like how I turned a lot of their catchphrases around with my own things, whether it was New Day Rocks, the Undefeated thing, or the Iconics saying, iconic, and I said, time wasting. I wonder if I'm going to come up with any amazing catchphrases for others. So, That's what the cool thing about my Sins videos are, which is, you never know what I'm going to say next.
Facts, dude.
And we're not going to talk much about the Sins because right now, of course, as everybody knows, we're about 9 episodes away from the 500th episode, and I have to make a decision to hunt Trebane.
Yes. Yes, Hunter.
Yeah, this is...
Bastard.
As you guys... it's kind of a hard thing for me to do because I have a lot on my mind about this. There's a lot at stake here.
Mm-hmm.
There's more at stake here than any title match at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Well, we'll get to that when it's time. But right now, we want to have a good time. Because we're having a good time, having a good time.
Musical.
I love Queen.
The musical.
The house is a rockin', don't bother knocking, cause the house is a rockin', don't bother knocking.
There's also something else I want to quickly talk about. There's something that I disagree with as well regarding Rhea Ripley and the NXT Women's title. As much as some people would probably be surprised at me saying this, and I guarantee people are going to disagree with me on this, but I am actually against the idea of Rhea Ripley competing against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania because in some ways I don't like the idea that NXT is being represented at WrestleMania. The reason I'm saying that is not because, well, it's low-bredded compared to Raw and SmackDown. The reason for this is because WWE has an unhealthy obsession with trying to put everybody on the roster at WrestleMania, and now that if you want to add NXT to the mix, you're squeezing too much into a short area. It's like you're squeezing too much.
That's the whole purpose for NXT takeovers.
I'm saying like NXT's a great brand. Yes, NXT's a great brand, but I really don't think at a time where the main rosters of Raw, the rosters of Raw and SmackDown are extremely loaded. I just don't see why we should bring NXT into the mix when there's literally no room to do it. I mean, unless, of course, they finally decide that WrestleMania should truly be about those who have performed the most, performed the best, rather than trying to shove everybody into like a battle royal or such, or put in like 16 matches as there were last year.
Good Lord.
It was difficult, yes. And that's why I'm saying, like, we're putting in 2 matches and we're continuing to bring in those part-timers. No offense to Edge. But I'm just...
No, because Edge...
Yeah, and, like, that's the whole thing. Like, I understand it's WrestleMania and everything. But, I mean, a lot of times... I mean, there could be a point in time where they try to make WrestleMania 20 matches. Like, one WrestleMania has 20 matches. I could possibly see that in the near future. But the whole thing is, I mean, yes, I understand it's WrestleMania, but that is a long time. And here's the thing: people do get tired,
and not to
people
mention
get tired of sitting for a long time.
Not to mention those in the area, like if we want to think of, I don't know what I'm saying, but if we want to think about the kids, they got school, and if you want to think about their parents, they got jobs.
Yeah.
And those who are traveling from around the world, they probably have flights that are early in the morning the next day.
Yeah.
And they still want to get back to their hotel, rest for a little bit before they have to get to the airport and such.
Yeah.
For my case...
Just because it's rest... Not mean it... Just not to clear you off, question, but just because it's WrestleMania does not mean everybody needs to be on the freaking car.
And another thing they need to really stop... my opinion... something they really need to stop doing at WrestleMania is also the massive entrances, because as I've seen on the seating chart for WrestleMania 36, we may have another 80 to 90 yard ramp to the ring like there was in Orlando. So if we're gonna do this, I think a majority of the wrestlers should just come out as they naturally do, instead of having some big concert or performance happen before said entrance. And if we have The Undertaker competing, how about we just do the thing where he teleports himself to the ring, or maybe The Fiend teleports itself to the ring. But
I like the idea. I like certain people who like before. Nakamura.
Yeah, Willie, you lagged a little bit when you said that.
I didn't get that.
So good.
He
So
said
good.
something about
Hear me?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, I said Nakamura's entered the WrestleMania 34.
Yeah, that was good. Yes, but at least thankfully, he just went as long as he naturally did. He didn't wait like a minute or two. But these days, people are trying to make everybody have a massive entrance. As cool as the entrances are, like, it kind of ruins everything. Like, the reason I say it ruins everything is because there's too much customization here. Not everybody needs a customization. Maybe just those who are in the major main event things. Like main event of WrestleMania or something like that. Like Drew McIntyre, yeah. He's competing for the WWE Championship, whether it be in Brock Lesnar or Ricochet. But let's be fair, it's obviously going to be Lesnar. But you get what I mean. But now, of course, we're adding NXT into the mix here. I mean, if they're going to add Rhea Ripley in the NXT Women's title to face Charlotte Flair, because let's face it, we've done this for a couple weeks now. It's obviously going to happen now.
I personally didn't want to see it, to be honest with you. The whole thing, I've lost.
You there,
Really?
boy?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, guys. I'm using my... Yeah, I'm here. My bad, guys. As I was saying, with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, I just don't really want to see it anymore. I've lost interest.
And the reason for that is because, it's more of Charlotte constantly delaying what's obviously going to happen. Like, this is why I'm thinking that they really need to hold off a bit for a while, because Rhea Ripley right now, she has to deal with Bianca Belair this Sunday. And they should not have had Rhea Ripley show up literally the week after the Rumble. And she's been on Raw the following week as well. So what the hell is this, a wild card thing with NXT?
I guess so.
Oh, God. Yeah,
so
could be.
This is why I'm thinking it's cool that it's cool. I understand that we're trying to make NXT look like a third brand and not the development territory anymore. But at a time like this, I really don't think pulling the trigger. I really think they should rather pull the trigger on their current stars on Raw and SmackDown before they start pulling the trigger for NXT at WrestleMania. And I say this with all due respect because I would like the idea of NXT one day being a WrestleMania, but I'm just saying, not now. Not now.
I can see where you're coming from.
I mean, I can
as you said, so many spots.
If Charlotte's only options right now are either Becky Lynch or Bayley, then I can understand why they're trying to do something new here. But if we bring in Rhea Ripley, all of a sudden a lot of other people from NXT are going to think, wait a minute, she's going to WrestleMania, why not us?
Because you don't really deserve it?
Well, they deserve it, yes, but I'm just saying, we're kind of too loaded here, and Charlotte, I can maybe give Rhea Ripley a pass because Charlotte won the Royal Rumble, which means she can challenge a title of her choosing, a women's title of her choosing, so hell, she could challenge freaking Kaylee Ray for the UK women's title.
Yeah.
But we're not getting it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is why
That's
I'm
the
saying.
whole thing, like, that's the whole thing, like, okay, like, I mean, I don't know, and that's the kind of thing I was saying. I think it should have been, like, an NXT women's superstar that, to win the Royal Rumble, like Shayna Baszler, because obviously, I guess, like, apparently now, like, they're setting up the feud for Shayna and Becky for Mania, if that's where they're going. But it's just kind of, but it's like you said, Christian, it's just kind of confusing. I mean, I'd be down for, Charlotte, to go after the NXT women's title, but, I mean, if she does happen to win, let's say she does win it at Mania, what happens? Like, she goes back to NXT or what?
What's going to happen is that the division's going to power into her will, and you know how political that chick is backstage. Just say.
That is true.
That's my whole thing. If she does win the NXT women's title, like, I mean, like, does she go back to, NXT? I mean, she probably could defend it on the main roster, but it wouldn't make any sense, though.
There's no way unless put her over, which I highly doubt that's the case. Just
it was just kind of in my opinion, I think Charlotte winning the Rumble this year was just kind of a little bit odd. Like, I'm not saying it was bad, but it was just kind of odd.
I wasn't even mad at it.
She's already faced Bayley. Yeah, she's already faced Bailey, and she's already faced Becky a whole bunch of times.
Including the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
No more. No more Becky and Charlotte. No more.
Just like no more Sasha and Charlotte.
No.
Yeah.
No more of that either.
All three of those.
No more.
Actually, all four of them have faced each other many times. Actually, the only ones, well, I'm actually more interested in is potentially Bailey and Sasha at Mania. But I can understand that one happening because, well, let's face it, we never saw that on the main roster. If they done properly, it could work. But back to Rhea Ripley, I'm just saying, like, if she does this match at WrestleMania, either Charlotte wins the NXT title and probably goes back to NXT or whatnot, or Rhea Ripley retains the title and just moves on to NXT as well, and it's like as if it never happened. Because if you think about it, it's a SmackDown versus NXT match.
No matter how much you
wait a
wait.
minute, hold on a second. Charlotte's on Raw. Or is she on SmackDown?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I forgot where she is.
Neither do I. Like,
even though the draft did happen, I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, she's on Raw. Yeah, she's on Raw. I forgot. Yep.
Yeah, she's on.
I think she's been appearing also on SmackDown, mainly because she's the Royal Rumble winner. And I'm going to think maybe the Royal Rumble winner gets a pass because, you know, she has a choice to make. Drew McIntyre's an exception because he already made his choice.
And unlike Seth Rollins, he didn't need someone to step up to.
That is true. So I really think though that Rhea Ripley's going to retain against Bianca Belair if we're going to go ahead with this whole thing with Charlotte. That's why I'm thinking it just makes her match with Bianca a little obvious because they're hyping up Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I have a problem with this. And that's why,
I go next.
sorry, no, all the respect to Ripley and Bianca Belair, but this is my sneeze break match.
How dare you, Christian? How dare you? Whatever.
And finally, heel Balor, your thoughts on the Rhea Ripley Bianca Belair match? Because I asked Ryan, and then I went on a tirade, but...
Hey, it's all good here, bro. Okay, my opinions on this match. First of all, I do want to get this out of the way. I do think Rhea Ripley is going to retain. There's no need to put the championship on Bianca Belair. But I also have another prediction. I could see Charlotte interrupting this match and causing chaos. And I could see it being turned into, sadly, I feel this is what they're going to do, a triple threat at WrestleMania. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I can totally see that happening.
Well, Bianca Belair did shine really good in the Royal Rumble match, so maybe Charlotte is impressed with her and probably wants to work with her as well.
I'm fine with the triple threat. I just don't want to see Rhea. I've lost interest. I just said I've lost interest in it. Like, it's really hard to explain, but I think you guys catch my drift at what I'm trying to say with this match. Just
yeah, of course we do.
The whole focus. The thing is, guys, it's like they're focused more on the WrestleMania match than the actual NXT Championship match happening on Sunday. It doesn't make any sense. Like,
it doesn't, no.
And Bianca's just an afterthought, you know what I mean?
And that's not something that we need in this time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what is... I don't know. Like, all I know is Rhea's retaining. That's all I know. Rhea better retain. That's all I got, because I don't really know, like, where they... I do know where they're going to go with this. But at the same time, it's like, why? Why? Why do we need this match? Oh, it's a dream match. We can have dream matches in 2K20.
Yeah.
Just like we have Undertaker's thing in 2K20. Whatever. 2020. I don't need all these old buzzers out here. Give me a break. That's my thoughts, man. That's all I got.
All right, with that being said, we're going to go on to the main event of NXT TakeOver Portland. This is for the NXT Championship as Adam Cole defends against Tommaso Ciampa.
Yay.
Wow. Yay. This is the match I'm honestly looking forward to the most because, hey, if you thought the matches with Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano were fun, let's wait to see Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa.
It's going to be stiff.
It's going to be wonderful. Tommaso Ciampa's hoping to...
Christian.
What?
No,
I don't think I gave my predictions for Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair.
Oh, you just said your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think I just said my thoughts. But for the match, I predict Rhea Ripley to retain. But I think Bianca Belair will do very well in that match. I think she'll come close, but I got to go with Rhea Ripley.
All right.
So that's my pick.
It's a three-way tie for Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
All right. So Adam Cole Bay takes on Tommaso Champion. I was about to say champion. Wow. Adam Cole Bay versus Tommaso Champion. Fuck. I'm trying to sound cool here. I was like, I got it now. Adam Cole Bay versus Tommaso Ciampa Daddy.
Tommaso Ciampa Daddy? That's a mouthful.
It is, yeah. Tommaso Ciampa Daddy. Daddy's Home, after all. I guarantee he's going to star in Daddy's Home 3 with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Daddy's Home 3. That'd be funny. And he's like revealed to be the brother of one of those two guys. Oh my god. That'd be awesome, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Daddy's Home.
As we
all know, Tommaso Ciampa was forced to relinquish the NXT Championship back in March of last year due to a neck injury. Has not gotten his title match since then, but now he's finally getting it. And this is why Adam Cole's been champion since June of last year, and he's had a wonderful title reign. It's been amazing. But I think it's time that, since Roderick Strong also lost his title, I think it's time Adam Cole loses his title next to Tommaso Ciampa, because Tommaso Ciampa should carry on where he left off. But the match itself, I know for a fact it's definitely going to be main event. Show stealer, wonderfully done. But I really think, once again, it's quite possible we'll see a retaining by Adam Cole. Maybe we'll see that, but I'm hoping Tommaso Ciampa gets the victory. But my prediction is Adam Cole. So, there we go. Heel Balor, your thoughts on the NXT title match?
I mean, we all saw it coming. To be honest, we all saw it coming. The promos, the vignettes, they were showing it. Can I say about the contract sign? That was so cool. Him signing the contract in blood. That was so cool.
Yeah, he ripped out the Fiend.
Yep, he did. It was like the Fiend, and Tim Osso's blood was real, obviously. But, it was very cool. The visual of him just writing in blood, it was just amazing. And I'm really looking forward to the match. I think it's going to be good. Anyone knows Roderick Strong doesn't have a match? Roderick Strong could be at ringside, because Finn Dix can be busy. And I think what's going to happen is Ciampa's going to win. Ciampa's going to win because Gargano's going to be squashed in a few. Gargano's probably going to be squashed. Roderick Strong, that's why I call him Roderick Strong, is going to accidentally cost Adam Cole the title. That's what I think. Roderick Strong is going to cost Adam Cole the NXT Championship. And I really don't know the way out of this. I just see the title reign coming to an end. Or they could do the title change in Tampa. I don't know. I think Ciampa's winning. That's all I got.
If Adam Cole kegs onto the title all the way to NXT Tampa Bay, I guess he might call it NXT Tampa Bay or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he will have surpassed Finn Balor to become the longest reigning NXT champion in history too.
Please get it done, Dan. Please get it done, Ciampa. Please beat Adam Cole.
Truthfully, I wouldn't mind if Adam Cole broke the record because, it doesn't change the fact that Finn Balor dominated in 2015-16.
And neither would I, but I just, Finn needs something. Now, he's the first ever Universal Champion and shortest reigning. You know what, Ciampa? Just beat him, please. I'm kidding. I do think Ciampa's going to somehow win. I don't know. I'm very torn. This is where I'm severely. It's just like the Balor Gargano match. My final prediction is Ciampa. I'm going with Ciampa.
That's a really good one. And finally, Double R, Rester Ryan, your thoughts on the NXT Championship?
I think this is going to be a very good match. I'm kind of tight on who's either going to win this. You know what? I'm going to go with Tommaso Ciampa winning the NXT Championship. I'm going to go with it. I think possibly it may set up to maybe Finn Balor versus Tommaso Ciampa, like a TakeOver Tampa Bay or something like that. But
that would be wonderful.
Maybe. That'd be cool. But I'm gonna go with Tommaso Ciampa. I think he's gonna win his belt back.
Because the way
he gets his belt back.
The way I've been seeing it is like, ever since Tommaso Ciampa returned from injury and Finn Balor returned to NXT, in my opinion, like it should. The way I worded it, saying Ciampa should get the title first before Finn Balor because of the injury situation. Finn Balor, just because he came back to NXT, it's a good thing he wasn't automatically granted anything.
Nope. You have to earn everything in NXT.
And Finny McFinfin knows that. So that's why I'm thinking it'd be cool to see Tommaso Ciampa, the guy who truly, in my opinion, has been ruling NXT since 2018. Since 2018, yeah, when he had his feud with Johnny Gargano and dominated almost the whole thing. Became NXT champion, dominated as champion all the way up to his injury. And even when he came back, he's still dominating. So that's what I'm thinking. Finn Balor was the dominant force of NXT back in 2015 to 16. Tommaso Ciampa is the dominant force of NXT today. Sorry, big-time fans of Undisputed Era or Adam Cole, but Tommaso Ciampa, in my opinion, is the guy from NXT, the top guy right now. So that's why I'm thinking it would be great maybe if Tommaso wins the title at Portland and defends the title against Finn Balor at Tampa Bay because, it's the guy of NXT today versus the guy of NXT yesterday.
And then, oh yes, Christian, I like your thinking. In
my opinion, that would be perfect because I'm gonna be at NXT TakeOver Tampa Bay with Upper Long Night Josh. That'll be his third takeover and my sixth takeover.
Yeah, brother.
Been to 5 takeovers, about to be at my 6th. Anyways, Ryan, go ahead and continue on with what you were saying regarding the title match.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't know. I would say probably like Roger Strong could be at ringside, but I don't know. I don't know if he would cost Adam Cole the match. I think he will try to interfere, but I don't know necessarily if he would try to cost Adam Cole the match. But I definitely think at probably some point Johnny Gargano could possibly, if the Undisputed Era tries to get involved, I think Johnny Gargano could come to the aid and try to even the odds. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to go with Tommaso Ciampa. And then, like I said, I'm going to go with the prediction of we could possibly see Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver Tampa Bay, probably. So that's my guess.
That'd be wonderful.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully gone through our predictions of NXT TakeOver Portland, which takes place once again this Sunday, February 16, 2020, on the WWE Network. And to everybody in Portland, Oregon, have a wonderful time at the Moda Center, or Moda Center, Moda, whatever the hell it's called, Moda Center.
I think it's the...
I'll just call it the Grand Theft Auto Mod Center or something.
Yeah, Moda Center, whatever you want to say. I think it's Moda Center, but
to everybody who's going to attend the show, y'all are in for a great night. I'm excited to see what we got here. Next week, we're going to review the events of NXT TakeOver Tampa Bay, and hopefully we're going to come back and we're going to be full of wow, holy shit moments, right?
It's TakeOver. We always have those moments.
The following week is going to be a double predictions where we will discuss AEW Revolution and the Super Showdown from WWE in Saudi Arabia. So that's that's a podcast I'm excited for because we have a crap load to talk about of AEW, which is why it's going to start the podcast first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure like the rest of you guys have things to say about AEW when it's time.
I have a whole bunch to say.
We've been holding this stuff in about wanting to talk about AEW stuff for months.
Especially what's been going on over these past few weeks.
Yeah, so that's why it's been tough to hang on and not say a word. But in a couple, we're patient guys, and we can wait another 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, but it's gonna be a fun time.
Yes.
I know for a fact. This is week number 1 of 5 of the Losers Lounge consecutive podcasts.
Dang.
So
Can't wait.
it's still gonna be fun though. Rice to Ryan,
Yeah.
Rice to Ryan, Heel Balor, of course. Thank y'all for being part of the podcast as always.
Thank you for having us.
Yep, this is why, like, we've been a podcast for almost 2 consecutive years now.
Dang, 2 years.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, the WrestleMania week predictions, we're slowing the hell down for that one. We're not going to go 6 hours for that one.
Nope.
But at least we will make an acknowledgement of something, which is the fact that the WrestleMania week predictions is the start of season 3 of the Losers Lounge podcast.
Woo!
Season 3, what do you think of that, huh?
That'd be awesome.
Seasons.
Never thought that we'd ever do that, because I gotta admit, when I first decided to put our podcast in seasons, it was wonderful. Each season goes on for a year, and you can check, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to our my YouTube channel right now, go to playlist, look at over our previous Losers Lounge seasons, and you can take a look at all the episodes we've done. If you were to listen to all of our podcasts combined, it would take you many days.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Heel Balor, you may do the honors.
The honors? Oh, yeah, the honors. We are the Losers, and this is our lounge. And we're better than all of you. See you next week.
Too sweet. And what do you always say?
And peace out, yo.